This Adam Bill Griggs from the CNC Router Tips group on Facebook. If you'd like to join us, I just posted a link inside of the comment section for this video so you can come in and join us. And looks like my messages are blowing up. Let's see what we've got here today. Uh, yeah. All right. There's some folks asking for the link. Um, all right, cool. Mike won't be with us tonight. He is out doing some family stuff, so that's pretty cool. Um, so anyway, things have been going well for me. I've been working on some projects, and the last project that I started working on um, has been a fourth axis for the CNC router table, and things are progressing very well. I've acquired most of the parts that I need to make this happen. I already had the stepper driver and the stepper motor. Um, but I was picking up some of the raw material um, to make the project, um, into a viable thing. Well, one of the things that's going to save me some time is I found a source of 5-inch diameter back plates for lathes, and one of the choices that you make when you build this is what kind of attachment you're going to mount to the front of it, whether you're going to use a 3-jaw chuck, a 4-jaw chuck, um, ER collets, however you want to um, hold on to the parts. And so I had decided that I would make a couple of different um, back plates, one that would mount a 3-jaw chuck and one that would mount the lathe, or excuse me, the vise that I showed last time, um, to go onto that, and it was the device I got from Amazon, and it mounts to the front. It's a self-centering vise, and it's a really nice vise, but it doesn't need the same mounting boss or anything on the front of it to center it that you need for the 3-jaw chuck. So rather than trying to make one plate do everything, um, it's fairly simple to swap out the plates when you want to use it. So um, that's what I'm planning to do. So I'll make a couple of different plates, and there's also another trunnion table that I make. As long as I'm in the midst of the project and I plan everything right, I can just make 2 or 3 plates all at once, and pretty much anything that I wanted to mount onto this fourth axis would fit. So it's going to be interesting. I have never used a harmonic drive. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what that's all about. Um, it should be pretty nice. Um, this particular fourth axis should be able to mount to my router table or to my milling machine. And frankly, I think that's pretty cool. So um, that is, one of the projects that I'm, working on pretty heavily. Um, so I'm hoping that some of the other folks in the group have a chance to join us tonight. And, we'll see. Let me looking through my Facebook log to see if there have been any other messages, because I was getting 3 or 4 right when we started. Um, but yeah, no, looks like pretty standard. I noticed that the group has been pretty quiet recently. There's a lot of posts generally taking place inside of it, but recently things have been kind of slow, and I don't know if it's something we're doing here, or Facebook is just not properly letting people know about the group, or exactly what's going on. So I encourage you, if you've got the time, or you're working on something really cool, post a picture of it. We'd love to see it. We'd love to talk about it. And it's just would be awesome if you would do that, because we can't provide all of the how shall we say, content that goes into the group site. It should be give and take with everybody in the group, and I'm hoping that you will consider posting some more content. So here I just made a post to this broadcast inside of the group, just on the off chance that the one that I did earlier didn't go through. There we go. One thing that we were talking about quite a bit recently has been people using laser cutters, laser diodes on their CNC router tables. And it's really kind of neat, because prior to this, the last couple of years, your router was a separate device from a laser. You had a standalone laser engraver or cutter, depending on the strength that you had, and you had a router table for doing other projects. And the funny thing is, with the introduction of laser diodes and fiber lasers, that became less of the norm, and the fiber lasers became so inexpensive that people could put one on their router tables to use it to mark things or to engrave on the surface of their projects. And even though they're much slower than a standalone CO2 laser, the diode lasers are doing a really nice job of creating your projects. And so a lot of folks, spending a few $100s and installing one on their machines, and having some great results. Well, things keep happening. Things keep evolving, and the tendency now is for the manufacturers of these things to combine things. Hey, welcome, Telly. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
I was just talking about how folks have been putting diode lasers onto their router tables, and I was just about to get into the fact that manufacturers of these things are catching on and starting to release some wonderful tools this year. Um, I guess there's that woodworking show in Las Vegas that's going on. It's either going on right now or it's in a few weeks.
It's past. That's
Yes.
the AWFS
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a lot of companies announcing new products, and
Hmm.
one that just came out that you and I were texting about briefly earlier today is from Thunder Lasers. And we've talked about Thunder Laser a few times, because, when I first saw their product, I was like, ooh,
Hmm.
if I
Hmm.
get a laser, I'll probably get one of those. Uh, well, my whole thing at the time that Thunder Laser did that was different from the other lasers that were out there. Um, Back in the day when you bought a laser cutter, 15, 20 years ago, it was an RF laser. In other
Correct.
words, it was a solid state laser, essentially. Um, and then China came out with the glass flowing
Hmm.
lasers that were out there. And that dropped the price down because the glass was much easier to manufacture than the solid state RF modules. And
Right.
so lasers became affordable. But then Thunder Laser went the opposite direction and they came out with an affordable RF laser. And I was like, ooh, yeah, that's kind of the thing I've been waiting for all these years. Uh, and about the time that that became a standard thing, I mean, they've been doing that for what, 3 to 5 years now.
Yeah.
Um, this past year, all the laser manufacturers upped their game because they knew that they were selling two kinds of lasers. They were selling the CO2 laser, which is, what most of us think of for engravers, and then they were selling fiber lasers, which folks use for engraving metal. And so you were having to go out and buy two lasers.
Right.
So Thunder uh, Thunder Lasers is just announced and kind of showing the coming soon signs, which means probably fourth quarter uh, of this year. Their new Titan series lasers, and I think I got a picture of that somewhere here. Um, just a sec. Let me enable share screen.
Okay.
Uh, of course it will. There we go. Multiple people can share screens. All right. So I was on Facebook earlier today in the Thunder Laser group, and I found some information about the new series. I'd received it a week earlier, and just never got to discussing it with you. But this is the technical data of what they started showing about their lasers. This is the Titan series, and it's going to come out with a 27-inch by I don't remember the other one. I have to do the 700 by 500 millimeter working area on the
That's
27-inch.
about 20, let's see, 28 by 20, something like that.
Yeah. So 28 by 20, a 900 by 600,
That's
which is like a
24 by
35
36.
inch
Yeah.
plus. Um, then
Um,
there's the 51 inch and the 63 inch if you want
yeah.
to go at it that way. And we can calculate all that stuff if somebody cares. But you know, they came out with the Titans series, and then they came out with the Titan Pro. And the thing that is cool about this to me is this Titan Pro has both a standard 80-watt laser, which you can optionally upgrade to 120-watt
Mm-hmm.
CO2 RF metal tube laser, and also a 60-watt MOPA fiber laser, or excuse me, a 60-watt or an option
100 watt.
100
Yeah.
watt MOPA laser fiber. So
That's pretty impressive.
yeah.
So uh, 100 watt fiber laser itself can actually engrave, not etch, but engrave in metal.
Hmm.
And we're talking about depths. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And
Yeah, you can
with
do like a three-dimensional look,
hmm
like face of a coin.
well, to put it in perspective, like this is like the new thing. You can actually port a gun with 100 watt fiber laser. It will
Hmm.
cut through it.
Yeah.
So that's really common. Like you technically you could do it with a 30 watt, but you have to make over 100 passes. And
Right.
then, if you get up to a 60 watt, it's a little faster. But with 100 watt, you could do it probably with maybe, I would say probably about 15 passes, maybe.
Hmm.
So that's pretty impressive. And for it to be a MOPA as well, then that's going to give you that capability of adding color to metal by changing the frequencies.
Hmm.
So I mean, hey, the technology is here, and I mean, we're seeing it grow fast. Like from that window period, within the last year, we have seen real changes
Yeah.
because I remember fiber lasers wasn't even really talked about. I remember when the CO2 lasers was being very popular, um, during like the epilogue era.
Yeah.
And then you had this little window period where where China was pushing YAG lasers. YAG
Yeah.
lasers was the one that was actually doing the metal, but it was very expensive. And
And very large.
yeah, and we was talking maybe like 2006, maybe
Hmm.
like when I
Yeah.
really started getting into it. Um, and it was unheard of, and it was very, very expensive. And
Hey
now,
guys.
Hey,
hey,
Ned.
and now that
Uh,
the fiber laser has jumped on the scene, we have seen like an increase across the board, and it's affordable.
Yeah.
That's that's the good thing. And I knew it was going to come eventually, but
Hmm.
we're talking about 19 years
Yeah.
that we have seen this development.
well,
Yep.
actually, Tally, when I was having a look at, came across a YouTube, and all those YAG lasers, they're the pump diode lasers. Basically, they're available now very cheap, and you can get 50 and 100 watt versions of those for a few $100s.
Are they still available? They're still available.
Yeah,
The Yankees?
dude,
I haven't seen
jump
one
on
in
AliExpress.
many years. Yeah.
Yeah, jump on AliExpress and do a search for pump diode laser. Pumped as
Yeah.
in oil
Okay.
pump or water. Yeah,
Yeah.
pump diode laser, and there's all. We were having a look at them a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. I
You
I
can
I
actually
still
get,
have the post-it note with it on. I was
yeah,
looking at it
you can
earlier
actually
today.
get 20 and 50 watt diode lasers that will cut and etch metal for like 50 to 100 odd dollars, and then there's dearer ones after that, but they're not much dearer, $200 to $300 for like 150 watt lasers.
Impressive. Impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And you
it's,
don't need a driver. You just need a constant current driver. Basically, they'll just run off lithium ion batteries with a regulator.
Okay.
and it's interesting. There was the YAG, there was the helium neon lasers before, and all sorts of things, and the CO2. CO2 was more common because it was easier to safely use it around things. The, those other
I,
lasers
I,
tended to bounce. Yeah, go ahead.
I've got a ton of those. Well, not a ton, but I've got probably about a half a dozen of the helium neon laser tubes I was pulling out of the older first laser printers. But they're not that spectacular. They just do a really cool red beam. That's all.
Yeah. So, I mean, technology blinking and it's changed.
Yes.
You know.
Well, now UV is on the scene.
Yeah.
It was very expensive. Now the price is coming down, but what they're doing now you can actually have the UV lasers that actually etch inside the cubes that you
Yes.
see at the flea market.
Yeah.
Those machines, we talking about 15, 20 years ago, those machines was 30, $40,000. Now you can get them a little
Wow.
less than 5,000, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. You sent me a link to one just the other day. Let me see if I can find that while we're talking. But yeah, I'm there. It's amazing how quickly the technology is changing and how quickly it's becoming available. Um, let me see.
I think all this change is because we have switched to solid state.
Yeah.
We have switched to solid state, and now they finna change over. Now they're gonna start using atoms now for processing. We're getting away from the transistors.
Hmm.
So now it's going to be the atom. So we're going to see a faster change within, I would say, probably within the next decade. We'll probably see some significant changes
Hmm.
in our gadgets.
Yeah. So
That's it. It's the
you sent
car.
me this link to
Yeah.
the Mr. Carve, which is a UV laser, 3D relief carving, inner
Inner
mm,
surface, yeah, inner and surface engraver.
yeah. Now you see all these cubes of acrylics floating around, but this is the machine that is uh, doing those crazy engravings that we see at the mall that were like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants for their a wedding gift or whatever. Let me see. So, like these,
I bought my wife one of those.
the
Um,
Mr. Carve,
no, no, no.
or
It was
yeah, or
I bought her one of those cubes
hmm
um at the time that when she was my girlfriend. And
hmm
I thought it was the most interesting thing. Um, Matter of fact, let me go get it from
anyway, this thing, you know, suddenly this technology is inexpensive, and now I think you'll see a lot more of it. Um, and you'll see more people competing on Etsy or whatever. But it's really dropped the price of these things down here because they're talking about uh, selling these at a retail of $69. You know, and I think that's a little low actually, particularly when you have a $25 cost in an acrylic block to do this with. But it's like anything. There's
uh,
um, you know.
maybe I got a little obsessive with them. I bought a three.
Oh, so I'm gonna stop sharing so we can see. And hang on, I'm gonna change the view. So you can keep speaking. It will focus
Yeah.
on you.
Okay. Yeah. So I bought this probably maybe 20 years ago. Yep.
Hmm.
I think it was like 2005, maybe.
Yeah. Do you remember about how much that cost you back in the day?
I believe it was about $30.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was about $30.
That seems low to me.
Yeah. They wasn't and at that time I believe it was import. Um
Yeah.
and just resell because like you said, you couldn't find the machine. I found one company that actually does it here. I don't remember the name. Maybe once I run across because it was probably one of those, like one of those hidden art forms that they never really talk about.
Yeah.
And they come with a lighted base. So when you light it up, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
But this company does it, and they made the breakthrough with the software and everything to
Hmm.
create this image because it has to be processed totally different from a STL type file.
Yeah.
Um, but that machine costs, I think, $30,000.
Hmm.
Yeah, even today, that machine costs $30,000 because this was maybe like a few months ago that I saw where this company had broke into it and start making these machines.
Yeah.
But
See, it's been just enough time for the patents to run out. Think
right,
about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Because I remember there were still malls when I first saw this. You'd walk down the mall, there'd be a kiosk, and somebody would have these.
right,
And you know, but when was the last time you walked down a mall? Yeah, they don't
exactly,
exist anymore.
yeah.
Well, they exist, but they're dying. Um, yeah.
But this is cool. You know what? This is actually what got me into lasers.
Hmm.
when I first started looking at the lasers, this was what I was looking at.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I couldn't afford it. So so I want another route.
What's up,
Um,
Scott? Yep.
What's going on?
hey Scott, how you doing?
Yeah. You
All
want
right, all
another
right.
route?
Hot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what, it's hot.
Yeah,
Whew,
yeah, yeah. It was
I
let's
dangerous
feel
out
I
there.
feel sorry for y'all in the South.
114 index.
Well, it's 91 in upstate New York today.
That's beautiful weather.
I'd
Uh,
be I'd be wearing a sweater there.
it's 90. Yeah,
Ooh, it's too
it's
hot.
90. It's 90. It was 97 here, but it was like 101
Yeah.
for a couple of days, and the heat index was 114.
Dangerous.
It was pretty hot. Um, Even with the AC on,
You guys,
hmm?
you guys
And
say it's hot? I've just walked outside. Hang on a second, I'll switch cameras.
Ned's got his heavy coat on.
I
Overcast.
had the beanie on. Look at
It ain't
that
rain.
lovely weather.
Well, this is the funny thing. Now, like right now, it's thunderstorm. We got thunderstorms right now. Like
Every evening too.
it's pouring down. Yeah, it's pouring down right now. But it's been hot here. Like almost too hot to even be in the pool. Like we had to go to the beach. So um
Oh my gosh.
Such a first world problem. It was too
yeah,
hot to be in the pool, so we went to the beach.
we went to the beach. Yeah.
We had to go to that daggone beach, I
Yeah,
swear.
we had to
Yeah.
go to the beach. Yeah.
Uh,
The
he,
water was a little more cooler. Yeah.
Y-
if
Then
you own a pool here in central New York, by the time you get it ready to use,
it
Too cold.
it's time to set it up for the winter.
You get 24 hours to use your pool.
Yeah. Uh,
Everybody has a party on that day.
yeah. Sometime next month, towards the end of next month, it will be getting too cold to go in the pool.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. And definitely by the end of by September.
September.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually by September we still within that heat wave in September. We don't start
Yeah,
cooling off
off
in
and on.
October. Yeah.
Yeah. You never know
You'll
here.
wake up in the morning in September around here and it'll be almost freezing. And then by 2 o'clock in the evening, it's 90 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause we almost on that same, but you and Scott, you in what, Jacksonville, North Carolina?
Yeah, we're not far from each other.
Yeah. So we almost on that, yeah, the same plane. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, there's a reason why they settled in the areas that they settled first. They didn't know
Yes, it
any
is.
better.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
They got off the Mayflower and they says, "Oh, this is great, man. Yeah, let's set
Yeah.
up."
Then the sun went down and the mosquitoes toted them off.
And then the winter came and they were like, "Oh, uh-oh."
Yeah.
The Indians came over and said, "These palefaces are crazy. What are they doing? They don't even know how to stay warm.
Yeah, what are they doing over
We
there?
got to help them."
Yeah.
That's pretty
They
much
are
what
not
happened
prepared
too.
for the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's crazy.
Teach them
no,
to grow a squash.
mm, anyway,
Hmm.
uh, you
Squash and
know,
tobacco.
speaking of historical things, we have Ned might not be really up on this holiday, but we have a holiday called Thanksgiving that they do in November, and
I've got nothing to thank anyone for.
yeah. So now we do it. It's a 1 day holiday for us, and then you get a long weekend to shop and stuff. But when they had the first Thanksgiving, it lasted a long time. Folks came and stayed because, by the time you travel to see your
Mm.
neighbors, it was quite a trip going through the mountains and the woods and all the streams and everything. So you stayed a while.
That's why they came up with
Yeah.
that Christmas song. dashing through the snow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I remember we used to. I don't want to sound. I don't want to make any animal lovers mad, but we used to have a hog killing every year around in November, and it was cold then. But now,
Mhm.
my grandma used to say it's cold enough to kill hogs.
Mhm.
Mm.
I don't know what you mean about offending. I love animals. If I saw a hog, I'd be happy to shoot it. I don't know why I'd be offended over it.
Well, I didn't say you specifically. Anybody listening to the to the
Mhm.
thing, but it was a way of life. It's how they survived.
When
Uh,
you
People do it now as fun.
there's a difference between hunting to eat and hunting for sport. I don't have a problem with either, but some people do.
Yeah, they do.
You know. Um,
It just evolved into this is what it was as far as the hog killings goes. Is everybody gathered up, all the neighbors, and they killed all their hogs at one time, and they divvied up the meat. Just like
mhm.
a village would.
Yep.
The only thing is they didn't have to hunt them unless they were turned out in the big open pasture.
Yep. Somebody probably knew how to smoke the bacon
Yeah.
or whatever, and another person knew how to do the salt brine and all of
hmm
that. So yeah.
What
Yeah.
they didn't have everybody didn't have everything they possibly needed to preserve their meats and or canned their vegetables. So they went to the people's houses that knew how to do it and helped them do theirs. And
Mm-hmm.
in return, they got theirs done too.
Hmm. Yep. That's still do a lot. Like my wife makes her own jelly, okay, and jams. And comes strawberry season, she goes out and she gets strawberries and she cuts them and cleans them and prepares them, and then she does the sugar and the gel and all of that stuff, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
weekend project.
hmm
And my job is to come along and seal the cans because I'm strong enough to. Uh, but the benefit is you get to eat jelly the rest of the year.
See, what
Right.
you do is you market that jelly and you make you a lid to put over it, like those lids Mark Lindsay made for his wife's tea.
Hmm.
It says strawberry round to it.
Hmm. Yep.
uh, Strawberry round to it jam.
Yeah.
Keep the lid when you're done.
Hmm. So you
But
get around to it once, no excuses.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, that Mr. Carve looks interesting though, Tally. I have
Yes,
not
it does.
really considered one of
It,
the little standalone fiber lasers, but that, when you start doing more than one function from the same machine, that starts making sense.
yeah, I'm not really a fan. Not really a fan of that. I like independent machines. Um, I don't like a bunch of accessories on one machine. If they go down, that's it. You stuck.
Yeah.
You can't do anything, and it's not good production practice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah, I used to have my shop set up like that. I was working out of a little 18 by 24 shop trying to build whole house kitchens and stuff. And you'd set everything up, cut everything you need with that set up, and then go all the way through the process only to find out that you got to recut a part and you got to reset up, redo this,
Hmm.
redo that. It's never exactly the same,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's not that way necessarily with a CNC, but it's a lot easier with a
Yeah.
CNC
yeah.
anyhow.
Yeah, I always wanted my own standalone workshop that was dedicated so that I could have a tool set up and ready to go. I'd have workspaces set up and ready to go, versus the way it is. For instance, I've been building an airplane, model airplane, uh, all week, and um, there's a nice flat surface in one of the rooms here, and I get it all set up, and I start working on that, and then everybody gets home from wherever they are, and that flat surface needs to be used for something else. So I had to pick it all up, put it away, and wait till the next day to get back at the product. It's the same thing in my current workshop out in the garage. Um, with the exception of the milling machine, there was always setup involved. If I wanted to use my router table right now, I would have to go and remove the project that's currently on the table, all the projects that are on the table, to get to the point where I could throw a board on
Right.
there and use it. The same with my track saw table.
It
Because
does two things. It motivates you to be a lot more organized,
Mhm.
and it can also discourage you from using a certain piece of equipment.
It
Yes,
does.
and
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yep.
Yep. Um, before I got the milling machine in the garage, the current one, not the one prior to it,
Awesome.
I was in a position. I had the space and the organization to use the CNC router at the drop of a hat. Um, Once the Tormach came in, certain processes that I do on the mill, the only surface where I can put the partially finished product is on the router table bed. And so things, were going back and forth. And so I have to stop production on the mill to move the stuff to do, the projects on the router. And from a business standpoint, that doesn't always work because I had production work on the router. I had occasional work, production work on the mill. I had occasional work on the router. So,
Which
um,
one's more important?
yeah, you keep the production going. Because production brings in the money.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I started seeing they was promoting putting diode lasers on the CNC, I was like, that was a bad idea to me. I
Yeah.
mean, they're slow. They're totally slow. So why would you ground your machine
Mhm.
to laser engrave? That just buy another machine. It's you just
I mean, depending on the price, I would probably do something like that. But me being me, I would wish I didn't because I would like be, man, this is great. I can make tons of these things, and then want to do
Depends
it
on the
faster.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on the space. Like that Kickstarter project we had that was it GWiki
Yeah.
that just came out with, or however it's pronounced, GWeek, GWake,
Yeah. Wiki.
uh,
Wiki.
Gee, Wookiees.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever it is, they came out with that combination, not plasma, but fiber laser cutter combined with a CO2 router, was it?
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah,
Yeah, it's a router also. It's a router. He
yeah,
said router, fiber laser, and a welder.
yeah, that's right. Welder and
And
a
a
cutter,
welder.
yeah. So all in one machine,
And wasn't a rust remover also?
right? Yeah,
Yep.
part cleaner.
Yeah.
So to me, that machine, that was tempting
I
because
can
from
see that. I can
yeah,
see it. But you know what? That's like one complete unit. Even though it has those four into one,
hmm
it's still an independent unit. Um,
yeah,
because you could just designate it for that tool. But when you do stuff like Bamboo Labs, where you got a 3D printer with a laser, that's stupid.
hmm
That's
yeah,
that's dumb.
yeah,
That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That's just someone that just made a marketing decision, say, hey, let's do something different and let's go radical. I mean,
hmm
Now, if we could print and trim that print up at the same time while it's printing the next one or something like that, that would
I
be.
just I can't see that. I mean, I got two lasers. I mean, I had five at one time, but I have two lasers. I've never wanted to put a laser on my CNC machine
Yeah.
ever.
Having the space to have a separate two separate lasers
Right.
is an issue
Yeah.
for many, for me anyway.
And it's how
Um,
often do you use one or the over the other, you know? I mean, if you're going to require that laser to be, super productive and you do just a little bit of CNC work, then you probably go with a separate laser and
Right.
CNC machine.
And
But if you
that's
the other
true.
way around, the laser doesn't matter how long it takes because you just do that on the side,
Hmm.
or you may just do a little somebody's name up in the corner
mhm.
of a drawer box or something.
The-
Yeah, that is true. And like you say, now with the way technology has changed, a lot of stuff is not required. Like I have my Epilog sitting right over there in the
mhm.
corner. I don't use it as much. It's there. Okay. Now, the thing is, when I do production runs on it, because of the way it's set up, like when I was doing these here,
Mhm.
I would have came out better with the X2, the fiber laser.
Yeah.
That would have knocked these out way faster than the epilogue. And that's where you say, okay, now I got this laser here. Maybe I don't need the other laser. You can get rid of it and you can substitute it with another machine that can do these faster.
Yeah.
Whereas this is for large work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the main difference. When I looked at that Mr. Carve that you showed a minute ago, I was like, that's great, but do I do small parts? And that, and the answer though, if you're trying to make revenue fast and you're trying to do a volume project, one of those fiber lasers really can't be beat. Um,
Mhm.
Especially mobile or you know, um,
Yeah, and
things.
they're dual. Like you have the diode and the fiber.
Yeah,
You can't beat it.
yeah.
I mean, you really can't.
Uh, um, Now the software has gotten to the point where um, a camera does your indexing for you. It tells you where your part is. It
Mhm.
identifies the parts. So you could throw a bunch of those keychains on the bed of one of these lasers, not worry about their orientation.
Right.
Just throw them on there like dice or
Yep.
jacks or something.
And it locates, I don't know how it does it. I think it's LiDAR or something, but
Mhm.
it locates that blank on the table, and then the laser goes and it engraves it. And then it moves on to the next one that's also randomly on the table. Some of them
Right.
even have conveyor belts
Yes.
on
Yep.
them,
The X1 Ultra has the conveyor belt, and now they have the X2 Ultra 2
hmm
that's coming out,
Yeah.
which has the Mopar fiber also.
So if you're doing little crafts for Etsy or for the craft shop, or you're in a engraving
Tourist.
shop, or you're making trophies for all the girls in the local dance competition, all 300 of them, this makes perfect sense now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
You'd be very hard pressed to do the same thing with a CNC router.
yeah.
Um, because of the setup time, mostly. If you have a vacuum table, yes, but vacuum tables aren't great for small parts.
No.
I'm curious how that's going to work on this new line of
Oh, the
cutters from Titan,
sure.
the Thunder Laser Titan, because they come standard with a vacuum table.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now I can tell you from my experience, um, the epilogue. So the Epilog has two tables. It has the honeycomb table,
Hmm.
and then it has a what they call a regular flat table. One side is aluminum, and the other side is uh ferrous, so you can stick magnet to it.
Hmm.
Now, the dust collector that I have on there is like it's a 2 horsepower dust collector. Um, and when you turn it on, it actually creates a
Vacuum.
suction.
Yeah.
So anything that I put on there, any type of wood or something like that, once I put it on there, it actually pulls it down. Now, I don't know if Upperlog intentionally did it that way, but it happens. Now, for you to say that they have like the vacuum, that would be very interesting because a lot of times when you're doing materials such as thin as this,
Hmm.
you get that buckle effect. It does that, and that throws the spot size off or the
Hmm.
focus off. Um, sometimes it creates, sometimes depending, I can create enough vacuum to kind of pull it down, but it's not very noticeable. You only know if it worked if one side cuts out well and then the other part cuts out where it's kind of scorched a little bit because it's closer to the beam.
Hmm.
So it'd be an interesting outlook of how they're going to do that. I'm curious to see something on it.
Yeah, what they said in the uh, no, that didn't work, did it? Here we go. It says vacuum supported, honeycomb, and low reflection solid metal bed blade or metal blade. So that's what they're advertising. I was trying to zoom in on that so you could read it, but apparently my control isn't fine enough to do that. Um, but yeah, so pretty cool feature, and that feature is on both the series, both the regular Titans and the Titan Pro, the vacuum supported honeycomb.
See, now, okay, so we got to remember this is Chinese translation. So
Yeah.
what they may refer to as vacuum may not refer to how we interpret vacuum. They
Hmm.
may saying vacuum as flow through, like mine.
Yeah.
It creates a little vacuum effect, but it's really flow through because when that exhaust comes, it's actually pulling the fumes away. Maybe that's what we'll have to really see.
Well, yeah,
I
they
mean, that's
did. Yeah, they did a video
oh,
that
they
was
did.
in that was showing the things, and they've taken the video down
Oh, what?
because they haven't launched yet. They sent that to the folks who were part of the Thunder Laser users group or the Thunder
Hmm.
Laser, it was a marketing thing.
Yeah. I would like
So
to see it. I can't knock it. It's crazy the way things are now. Like this technology. I mean, now they have lasers that actually has it's truly 3 axis. It's just
mhm,
not. We're not just talking about the bed lifting. We actually talking about the head moving. So you can actually carve inside a bowl or on
yes,
the what you call it, the concave, is it concave?
Yeah.
concave,
Yeah.
convex, yep,
Yep,
either one, yep.
convex, so it's there. Give me a moment.
Now, you guys talking about vacuum for the lasers. I wonder if air weights would work for that.
Don't know. Um, Generally, there's not a whole lot you've got to do to hold a part in a laser machine, which is part of the joy of using it. You just throw
Yeah,
that sucker on there and it cuts.
it's keeping it flat, making it
But
flat.
when the material is not flat, or when your cutting releases the stresses in the wood and causes it to move, then you might not get a consistent cut.
Hmm.
Um, don't know, you know.
It's wood.
I was hoping I could find the video uh here, but I guess they have taken it down. Um, hmm, let's see. Looking to see if there was any mention of price, which you know they almost never do uh, ahead of time. Uh, yeah, no, there's a lot
They
of folks.
look to see how many people's interested and jack the price up accordingly or down.
Hmm. I think in many cases when they're trying to do this, that they already have a price point in mind because they've already done the research.
Yeah,
What they don't know specifically is whether there's enough interest in the product before they market it. So,
that's where social media benefits real a whole lot.
yeah, um, by them sending this out to the folks who are in their users group who've already bought a laser from them before, those people who've bought something from you once are more likely to buy a second thing from you. It's just human nature. Um, I bought um, a ton of equipment from a company called Futaba. They make radio controlled uh, transmitters, and for about 20 years, that's all I bought. Then one day, I got a radio from a different brand, and it was as good or better. And now I've got a bunch of their radios too. But I bought multiples from both companies because the product was good. If Futaba had an offering that I want right now, and I had the money for it, bang, I'm getting another Futaba or another other other brand radio that I'm happy with because it just works. Um, so for them to market to people who are already using their products is really smart because it gets them thinking, well, maybe it is time to upgrade and sell my old laser before the new one comes out and the price drops. The resale value drops, and
Yeah,
maybe I can upgrade to a bigger version of that laser because I had the small one and I really wish I had bought the bigger one. So it kind of gets things flowing because every time a new version of a product comes out, there's about a 3 to 6 month window where you can sell your old version of it and get a really good price for it. And then after that, the price drops in half for the
yeah,
used one.
yeah.
You know.
It's kind of not inside trading, but kind of
Hmm.
sort of like it because you get a heads up, hey, they're coming out with this new product. Let me go ahead and get rid of mine before everybody finds out about it.
Hmm. Yeah, it kind of happened to me with the Tormach, believe it or not, milling machine, because Tormach came out with a new version, three different new versions of their machine. About the time mine was good and working and everything, and I knew how much I had spent on it, and I was like, oh well, maybe I could sell it. Let me look see. And had I sold it then, I would have gotten about 3/4 of what I paid for it out of it. Now, if I sell it, I'd be lucky to get a quarter of it. So to me, I'll run it till it dies.
Yeah. As
You
long as
know.
if it ain't broke, there's no need to,
Hmm.
and you're still making money with it.
Yeah. So yeah, there was absolutely no reason to sell that machine. It was producing the parts. I had a workflow on it. I had all the tools up. Uh, I wanted, except for a probe. Um, Then
All
I could
the
add the probe, you know.
heck, you can make your own.
Yeah, yeah, sure could. Um, so it was just one of those things. You know, it has an automatic tool changer on it. It has the, you know, um, pretty much everything that you could want, except for this fourth axis, which I'm building right now. Um, but if I were to buy the new machine, they doubled the price on it. Um, and the difference is they added those clear path servos to it. And to my way of thinking, the machine is not significantly improved just by those clear path servos over what's already there. Because what's already there works great. The difference with the clear path servos is it works a little faster. That's about it. And
And couldn't you swap those out yourself if you really wanted to?
I sure could. You know, and that's the whole thing. And probably at about half the price. Um,
They just don't know who they're selling to, do they?
well, that's the
I mean, they know, but
yeah,
they don't know they're selling to Bill Griggs. He can fix
yeah,
anything.
yeah. Well, when when you consider they have picture of me on their website, you know, as
Oh,
a customer success story. So, uh,
they've already got you figured out now.
yeah. But you know, I build things. I like to mess with it. If if Tormach were to contact me and say, "Hey, why don't you go up to this new machine here? You know, we'll give you a sweet deal or something, or you know, yeah, I might." But
Yeah.
other than that, because I'm very happy with the machine, I talk about it all the time. Um, but I don't really need the upgrade that they have coming. Um, because I've determined from the type of things that I like to do and make, they don't offer a machine that does that yet. I'm sure they will soon someday. But my next step in a milling machine would be a 5-axis machine. You know, something that could um, do all sides of the part at once.
Yeah. Those are nice.
Hmm.
I like
So,
watching them work. I can sit there and watch them work.
hmm, yeah, but now we're talking getting a, you know, to do that is about 100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Unless it's going to make you three, 400,000
yeah,
in a year or two, just, it's
if your
not worth it.
machine can pay for itself in under 6 months, uh, then you buy it automatically.
That's a no-brainer. Yeah.
Yep. I was watching a YouTube video where a guy was talking about a machine that he had bought, and he bought the machine and had work for that machine immediately with a local company that had lost their supplier for a particular part. And so he started making those parts. And his first job paid for 3/4 of the machine. His second job paid it off. So
Wow.
2 jobs, and he was in the black over that machine purpose. What did he what or purchase? So what did he do? He went out and bought another machine, and got
Double.
other work for it. So if you can do that all day.
I have never,
Yes.
I ain't never been that successful.
Hmm.
My dad and I did that with a sawmill, back there in, I believe it was Fran, one of
Hmm.
those hurricanes that came along and wiped
Hmm.
everything out around here.
Yep.
Um, Before we even went to pick up the sawmill, we already had like 20, 30 jobs lined up.
Hmm.
Guaranteed, all you got to do is pull up and start cutting. Didn't know nothing about cutting up a log. This guy had a salvage yard, and he was wanting to make his own shipping crates. So he hired us to come out there. We learned how to saw with that sawmill in his salvage yard. Um, He was a good guy. We
Mhm.
sawed up a mountain of logs he had. I mean, literally, he had a stack 2 stories high almost out there.
I'm trying to see if I can find the video I saw yesterday. A father and his 3 daughters, all under the age of 21.
I saw that. I
Uh,
saw.
yeah, I'm not. I'm
Be
not.
careful how you Google that now.
Yeah. They ran a machine shop in their garage, and somebody interviewed them yesterday, but I'm not seeing it pop up, so
That's
it may
in
have been
that's
on
in
Facebook.
that's in one that matter of fact, I saved that video. That was one. It was in my watch list. But I
Mhm.
didn't. But I did see it. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the young lady was 21 years old, and she was explaining the details of their business and how she programs all the parts, and then operates the machine, the whole 9 yards. And it's pretty cool. Her sister rebuilds Prius electric vehicles.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
yeah, it's pretty impressive.
You see that a lot nowadays.
I think it was
And it's a
Schwartz and
good
Mueller
thing.
or something like that.
People
Schwartz
starting
and
up
Mueller.
businesses out of the garage and making it big. It just hardly no time at all, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well,
Well, we've got a great history of people making large businesses out of their garage. Microsoft, Apple, uh, you know, just a
yep.
few to name a few.
Amazon.
Yep,
Yeah.
Xerox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. You, you know.
Orville and Wilbur, right?
Yeah. I've never purchased any of my equipment for business. That was never my intent. Um. When I got into
Not
this.
what you said on your taxes.
Look, now he's incriminated himself. You should plead the fifth every time you come on this show, Tally.
Well,
Okay.
well, it was
Uh,
never meant. It was never meant for business. It started
Yeah,
out
yeah.
even the
as a
crane,
passion.
even the crane.
Now the crane was a little different.
He got that to clean his swimming pool out with.
Yeah, it was the crane was a little different. It kind of fell into my hand, but I wouldn't have gotten into the crane business if I wasn't into the sign business, and that's how I kind of transitioned over to it. And then it ended up being in the construction, more construction, because the
Hmm.
sign business is wishy-washy. I mean, it's back and forth. But construction will never die.
So a sign crane could actually lift normal size or average size trusses and stuff.
Oh,
Or would
absolutely.
you,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, so the crane that I have is a 40-ton crane. Um, I've done um I've done signs for Target. Um, so I just pick up the entire sign um that we used to make, and we just suspend it up in the air, and we weld it right on the pole and
Mm.
just hold it in place with the crane. And we
Hmm.
get a bucket truck, and go up there and secure it. Um, so when you in the sign business, and I mean, one thing leads to it just leads to another. You
People
start
learn you got a crane. Hey, he's got a crane down the road. We get these trusses on this building in a couple hours
well,
or less.
you start out small. Like,
Yeah.
uh, I didn't even consider the crane until I had to hire a crane. You start doing science and you start hiring a crane, and you realize, hey, you paying this dude here, $800
That's it. And
to,
it's
to hold a pole that the concrete need to set, you know, and then you come to realize, like, interesting, So from there, it's one thing leads to another, but um, I didn't know how to operate a crane, so I'm self-taught. I taught myself how to operate a crane. Um, and I literally called up a company, and because I had a CDL license, I literally called up a company and asked them, did they need a crane operator? Just like that. You know, the first company told me no. The second company told me okay, and gave me a chance. And
Hmm.
I learned from there, and I stayed with them for 8 years. I stayed with them 8 years and bought the business. Yeah, and that's how I got into it.
Hmm.
So I only got out the sign business because the business was getting slow. It kind of, it made that dip. So you go where the money is. So
Yeah.
now I do both.
I
I,
don't know if I could operate a crane. I have every finger on the arrow I had chewed to the cuticle. It'd be nerve wracking for me.
it's not. I
Uh,
mean, it's really not. And I can tell you that because, like I say, I'm self-taught. I didn't go to school. I didn't get my certification until 3 years after um I worked in the crane. By that time, I was well over maybe what 3,000 houses, maybe,
mm,
Hmm.
you know. So I understood it. So when you say, and I've taught people that had the same thing, no crane experience whatsoever. One of my best friends now did not know how to operate a crane. Came over here from Brazil. Uh, Taught him how to operate a crane. He did it for 7 years. Now he's in Hawaii as a helicopter pilot. So he does tours. Yeah. So
wow.
it can be done. I mean, as long as you listen and have some sense
Eyes
of
in the back of
fear,
your head.
you can learn it. I mean, it's not hard, but I mean, you have to have common sense. You do have to have common sense.
Yeah, it
Hmm.
could be dangerous, I'll tell
Yeah,
you. My
yeah,
father-in-law was a heavy equipment operator for the state. He operated an excavator, and he said you got to watch out for them boys. Some of them boys are just stupid. They
yeah,
just don't realize that they could get their head taken off at any minute.
yeah. They reckless. Yeah. I mean, what was the day before yesterday? I almost had a wall get away from me. I picked it up just normal, and then once I picked it up over the other walls, the guys wasn't ready. And that's the one thing they always want to do a lift when they're not ready. And I'm like, what? You're not ready for the load, so why do you want the load hovering over your head? I never
Mhm.
get that. You're in the rush
Hmm.
to get injured, pretty much. But I lift the wall, and the wall came up over the house, and the wind caught it, and it just started spinning. So what I did was I just boomed up, swung it away from the house, and just start cabling it down until I got it out of the wind, I could touch it on the ground, and then it stops. But I mean, stuff like that happens. So I mean, but the only thing, you just don't panic. You
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
they.
you learn it was instinct. What you done was instinctive to
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Somebody else would have had to think about, oh heck, what do I do now?
yeah,
You just did it. So
yeah.
that's a good
But that
thing.
just come with practice. That's all. And I think most, I would say most, I don't think everybody can be trained to be a crane operator. I would say a majority of people can be trained as a crane operator because you do have to think, and you have to have some sort of fear. Your fear is your ally. It keeps
Hmm.
you from doing stupid stuff,
Yeah.
So
I'd
uh
probably be a good one then, 'cause I'd be scared to death.
yeah,
I'd be like, you guys ain't ready for this. I'm gonna eat my lunch. Let me know when you're ready.
but it's fun. I mean, it's fun. So a lot of time I shoot videos, post them on Facebook and stuff that I
Yeah, I've seen them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I posted one that I hit the porta potty.
I didn't see
The
that
porta
one.
potty.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I
gosh.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's fun. I mean, we
I
have fun.
love I love watching cranes.
Yeah.
With SpaceX and them building all those buildings, they have literally 10, 10, 15 cranes on site every day doing something, and you just
Hmm.
sit there on YouTube and watch them,
Yeah.
you know, moving the moving the things, and it there are days when you're saying, I don't think that's going to go there. And then they raise it up just right. And they've got a ton of guys there and they wires and they finally get it exactly. It may take them all day to set
Mhm.
this one thing in place, but seems to be working.
But I got a couple of cameras. I was talking to Bill. So I got uh, a Hero 360 that I use on my motorcycle, and I just bought a magnet for it. I'm gonna put it on top of the
Mm-hmm.
cab, and I'm going to get a wireless camera to go on the boom, and I'm gonna start streaming a little bit more stuff, that goes out in the field because everybody is fascinated about it. You know,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, everybody's fascinated about it. So, um, some days I have good days. Some days, I'd be annoyed. Some days I'd be like, man, what are y'all doing? Like, you know, um, and trying to sometimes you have to just get on some of these guys that does the riggings. I just wonder what they be thinking at sometimes. I'm like, bro, you have to balance the load. You just can't throw the hooks on the truss anywhere. I mean, and expect for it to be straight. And they think the crane
Just
has
straighten it.
infinite. They think the crane has infinite lift. Like they think I can run out 125 foot of boom and pick up 5,000 pounds. Like it's just I don't know. It's like the mindset that people they just don't know. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they don't realize that when you set that baby up, like everything is dependent on the operator. Like they just totally oblivious. They think you can boom down like 0 degrees and just reach all the way across the street to pick up a truss. They don't have no idea that this 56,000 pound vehicle can flip at any given time.
Yeah.
They just don't know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting, interesting. I'll tell you, you were working on a series of houses about a month and a half ago, and in a development that was they were still building, and the house you were working on was right next to another house, and it was like multi-story, and you had to get the trusses up and to the back of the second story, and I'm saying there's just absolutely no way that this is gonna work out, but it did,
Hmm.
and I'm like, it just amazing to watch,
Hmm.
amazing to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people, I be sitting in I sit in there and I watch my YouTube so I can
Mhm.
learn while I'm working. And a lot of times I do tech support right there. I have people call me right there while I'm in the crane. And I'm just like we doing video now. I have video right there. And I'm doing tech support for people right there while I'm working in the crane. It just, because now it becomes natural. You doing it. You paying attention, but it just becomes everyday life. Like, you know,
Automatic. Yeah.
yeah, it's my
Muscle
office.
memory.
Yeah, it's my office.
Yeah.
It
You answered
it's
the phone.
amazing.
Eggs. Yeah, I'll bring some eggs home.
Hmm.
Yeah. Some people get so good at operating machines. I've seen somebody come out with a backhoe and open up a bottle of beer with
Yeah.
the
Absolutely.
bucket. Yep.
Absolutely. I can pick up a soda can. I can pick
Yep.
up a soda can. Yeah, absolutely. I
Yep.
I do all kind of stuff, and a lot of it is games. Sometimes we fly without a tagline. So,
Huh?
like, what was it? When was that? No, not today. That was yesterday. So yesterday, it was one of my. I do have favorites.
Nothing else is gonna get you in trouble with, right?
Hmm?
Nothing else will. Okay, good. Keep continue.
Mm-mm. No. Um, Matter of fact, OSHA would love this because that's just how much control you have over certain stuff. So
Yeah.
Um, so necessarily you don't have to fly with a tagline. A lot of times depends on the crew. Okay. Some crews I work with, I've coached them over the years, so they know how to assist in spending the truss. Most of the time, what I do, I fly the truss. Sometimes, most of the time, it's safe to fly the truss when you come in, to fly it at chest level. That way, you're not over their head, you're at chest level, so that way it's right there. So what I usually do, I fly the truss in, I come in with their arm reach, and I tell them to either pivot the farthest end of the truss. So normally all you have to do is just hold the end of the truss. And as they hold it, they stop that end and I continue to swing it and it'll pivot the truss around.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys get scared. When the truss come in, they'll duck, or they'll naturally hit the truss and it'll cause it to spin too fast. In cases like that, what I do is I come in and as the pitch on the other trusses, I bring that truss in and touch that pitch and continue to spin and raise it up and let the truss do a 180 and then set it down.
Mm-hmm.
If the crew is really good, you can do the house fast. Normally my rate is 2 trusses per minute. I can set 2 trusses per minute. Um, and that's really moving as far as you talking about 40 something trusses. Some houses I can do within 45 minutes. On an average, you talking maybe about an hour and a half. If you're doing walls and trusses, it's about 4 hours to do. But it's more challenging than anything. So it's kind of take your mind off of the work, just working. But if you got a good tagline guy, it's easy. But if you got a tagline guy that doesn't know what he's doing, it's bad help. Like he's really in the way. Like there's a lot of times I just raise the truss up and just pull the tagline away from him and be like, no, you slowing me up. You fighting the crane. Like you trying to pull the truss where it need to go, and you don't need to do that. You just need to assist to keep the truss from swaying in the wind or whatever. So, but other than that, I mean, it's just a day's work.
Can you take a guy who's a bad tagline guy and train him up to be a good one?
Absolutely. And I have
Yeah.
done that. And that's the thing, like with the guys that I work with, um, I'm probably one of the most requested operators to come on a job site because a lot of the guys that I work with, some of them like really young, they're in their early 20s if they haven't broke 20 yet.
Mm-hmm.
I know right when they get that tagline, and I can tell if they start trying to pull that truss or whatever, thinking they're fishing, or I stop the crane and then I coach them. I tell them, and once I tell them, then they listen and they become good. And I like to try to keep them there for a few months on that tagline. But sometimes the crews, the way they set up, they may have a guy on the taglines, and then next thing he'll start to doing the rigging, and then he'll end up on the roof. And you'll see that pattern over these course of months and even the years. And then the next time you see this guy, he has his own crew. They don't they don't split off. Now he's reading the blueprints and the
Mm-hmm.
trust, knowing what trusses go up. So when I see them guys, I try to help them understand the rigging and doing the tagline and stuff like that. And usually it makes my job so much easier. Yeah. I had one guy, he was complaining so much, like, hurry up, do it. I was like, you want to switch jobs? You wanna come in here? And then I come out there and I rig, and he was like, yeah, yeah. I said, okay, come on up here. So I got out the crane. And I said, I'm gonna give you 3 minutes instruction. This. And he got in there, and you could the look on his face. He was totally, he was totally baffled. And I said, don't let it confuse you. Don't let it overwhelm you. And I showed him, the controls and everything. He
Hmm.
slowly started moving. And I looked at him, I was like, man, come on, hurry up, man. You got to pick this stuff up. This is not my first time out here. And now he's like, okay, I see. It's not all as easy as I thought it was. Yeah. So
Yeah.
no, we have fun out there. We do. It's
Well, I suppose we should probably talk about CNC again.
well, it is motion control.
Yeah.
Yes, but at a macro level,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Um, mm, 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 mm.
Uh,
Yeah,
what
go
is
ahead.
what is Ned doing?
Oh
Um,
no, I hear him
Fixing
mumble something.
I'm, I'm doing a chair frame. I got to fix it to the bed. Not
Okay.
enough vacuum.
At least it
uh,
ain't running while he's up there.
yeah.
Let's see if I can give you the look-see.
Oh, you making is that a door frame?
No, it's for a three-seater chair.
Okay.
That's birch ply and real
Oh.
timber. So the person pays a fortune. He sees a bit of timber, but underneath it's plywood.
Hmm.
And you say it's a what
Yeah,
now?
so
The
it's a
door
what?
frame.
It's the base of a three-seater lounge chair, a
Oh,
very expensive one.
yeah.
Hmm.
What did I do? Okay.
I would love to see that shop sometime. Uh,
That looked like a pretty big
Oh,
shot.
yeah.
it's a one-man shop.
A
One
busy
very
one.
busy man, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He used to have a lot of people working for him, but now he just, like, I come here and I get contacted when he needs stuff done. There's been a fair bit of work sort of like on at the moment. Yeah, I don't mind. It's breaks the boredom. You do different things. Yeah, I started off doing some wall panels, um, and um, and now I've got the three-seater chair, and then I'm going back to wall panels. Basically, it's birch ply with veneer, 6 mil veneer or quarter-inch veneer stuck to it to make it look like real timber. The purpose of it is it's actually dearer to do it this way, but it stabilizes the wood, stops it from bending and warping. It's one of the very high grades or highest grade birch ply that you can buy, or among the highest grades.
Hmm.
I don't know. A lot of the plywood we get around here nowadays is very expensive. You would think it's high end, high grade, but when you get it, it's what you would consider shop grade or import back in the
Uh,
early in the 90s and stuff.
I bought some birch ply and cut into it and saw string in it.
hmm I found metal in
did
it.
you
A
see
metal
that?
band. There was a metal band in the sheet one time.
Really?
Yeah,
What
like a band, like you'd strap them down to the pallet with.
is that a single piece or is that glue? Is that glued up, Ned?
That's a single piece. That's um that's a single piece of birch ply. The high grade, you can see there's no gaps.
That's pretty.
It's fair.
I'm looking at the
It's a
layers of
very,
it. That's pretty.
Yeah, we
yeah.
can't get stuff like that. It must all go to Australia.
Yeah, there's no, it's like solid veneer type. There's no gaps. It doesn't flake. It's super strong, and it's glued with a phenolic glue.
Um,
How much is that a sheet? Probably about 600 American.
I don't know, but it's very pricey.
yeah, yeah, the kind we get don't look nothing like that. It's
Even the good stuff don't look
nah,
nothing like
it's,
that.
it's yeah, it's trash.
That looked like it would have been made like I would make it if I were going to make my own plywood right there.
Yeah,
Matter of fact,
this is the
it delaminates.
It does.
yeah. That's the finish on it. The finish on it is like really good. They're very. There's some even better ones than this.
You can
Um,
almost plane that a little bit, not mess it up.
I'm surprised you don't have a cabinet grade plywood supply
Who
around
us?
you. Yeah.
We do.
We
It's
do.
just that
It's
that
trash.
yeah, it's no good. I mean, if you do get a hold of some good stuff, you're going to pay, $300 a sheet for it or more,
It's
and
that's a lot.
it is a lot.
it's ridiculous. I
Hmm.
wish I'm a
Import is like $50 a sheet now.
yeah, I can get import birch ply if that's what you want to call it. It comes from Indonesia. It's about 35, $36 for half inch. Um, but
We have a plywood supplier here that has been doing it for like 50, 60 years,
hmm
and they still have the good sources for the plywood pre-finish or the actual Baltic birch
hmm
and stuff, and still high quality. Not terribly
That,
much
that,
it's more expensive than the stuff that you buy at the box store. The difference is it's good.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
that
a
that's good
issue.
stuff. Bulk search.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the issue we have here.
It must be just a southern thing.
No, no,
They don't.
I've heard it enough from all over the country that I know it's an issue. Um, and forget about Lowe's and Home Depot if you're that
Yeah.
stuff is terrible. Um,
This right here, this is like pine, but this is like the best quality I found, and this comes from Home Depot. And I mean, I've made all kind of stuff out of this. I made my chairs and it's pretty solid. This is $46
hmm,
uh for a 3/4 sheet. But man, I buy birch. I know they have the Russian birch. It's more expensive. I think it's $85 a sheet, maybe $90 a sheet. But the one that so this is what I think. I think the like we have our Mecca here. And I've watched their quality of wood just go to crap. And it don't seem like they buying from the same vendors. It seems like it
probably
switches
not.
up. It switches up because you can get some that's it's okay, and then another batch is just horrible. Like I can cut it and it just totally delaminate, and it have like strings in it to hold it together.
Yeah. Looks like a fan deck.
Yeah,
I got a deck of cards, fanning a deck of cards, shuffling cards. When you open the band, it looks like a shuffle card deck.
but I don't do enough. I don't do enough projects. To order, like a pallet of plywood,
Hmm.
from some of these other manufacturers that I see, and I be watching them to see if they, if they're ship like quarter sheets or whole sheets, maybe. I mean, I don't mind buying, maybe like 5 sheets or something like that, but I don't need like 35 sheets or 50 sheets on a pallet. Yeah,
Yeah. And I mean, it does allow you to pick through it, but you got to have the volume to justify
yeah,
purchasing that much at one time.
right.
But when you say buying on a per sheet basis, a lot of these places you have to have a good relationship with them because they'll tell their guys to go out there and pull from the the stuff that's been sent back because it was junk. You know, he only needs one sheet. Go get it off the throwaway pile and send it to him.
Yeah. Um,
Pick the best one off the scrap pile.
Actually, I was about to say, so y'all don't get to pick out your wood, but now I'm thinking about it when I go out to this uh, plywood supplier. They usually bring out the sheets. They allow you to inspect them if
Hmm
you want,
yeah.
send it back. But I've never gotten bad wood from them.
Okay.
But when I go to Lowe's and Home Depot or wherever to get the wood, or even the local hardware store, that we still have a few hardware stores that carry lumber. Um, then I'm looking at the sheets
Mm-hmm.
as I'm getting it, because it's much, you know, much easier to spend 10 minutes picking out two good sheets than it is to, just get whatever it is and then bring it back.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no,
When I
this, yeah.
when I first started learning how to build cabinets, my dad had um a good relationship with the local lumber yard, I guess you'd call it. And he'd get a cabinet job and he'd pull up and blow the horn. He'd go in there, walk right into the warehouse and start loading his truck, you
Hmm.
know. And he'd go in there and tell him what he got and pay for it, go on his way. No questions asked. Now there'd be people in there working, but if you needed help, they'd help you. But they didn't have a problem. They wouldn't let just anybody go in there and do that. But you can pick through their actual lumber, and if you
Hmm.
want 2x4s, you can pick through and get the straightest 2x4s and 2x6s or plywood or whatever.
Yep. When I built my computer desk back in the day, my local hardware store had just gotten in some plywood with veneer on it on both sides. Good on both sides, and it was light. And I didn't know it at the time. They didn't want a light grade of ply with this veneer on it. They wanted it, heavier or whatever. And so I got maybe 5 sheets of that from them or whatever. And we made stuff. And then I went back a while later, hoping, to get some more of that. And they were like, oh, no, no, we don't carry that. That was ordered by accident. We got that by accident. I says, ooh,
Don't, don't you hate that when you find a good material and they also sell it off cheap because they don't want it? Then you come
yep,
back to get some more and they go, oh, no, that was a one-off sort of thing
yeah,
because of.
yep. So I started asking around. I says, well, do you know any place I can get something that's going to match what I got? And they said, well, there's only one place over in Syracuse that might have it. It says, but they don't usually deal with individuals. But
Mm.
I had just gotten my business permit and everything, so I said, well, let me drive over there. And I went over and I saw the guy, and I got a hold of one of the older workers who was there in charge of things. I says, hey, this is what I'm looking for. And he says, well, we can get that, but we don't usually keep it in stock here because there's not much call for it. He says, but if you um, if you order 10 sheets, at least 10 sheets, we can get it in. We can get it in on the next order, because they will do part of a pellet with that. But
Mm.
you know, we'll only do that if you want, enough to make it worthwhile. So I ordered the 10 sheets, and I was glad I did when I did, because we built a lot of stuff with it. And then I used to build sets for the high school plays and stuff. And when the plays rolled around, um, we needed a light set, you know, uh, that we could move around. And so 2 of those sheets got used up in that. So, I thought it was a good deal. So I never regretted it. I didn't know how I was going to get home 10 sheets of plywood when at that time. The back of
Well,
my minivan was low.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah.
like that guy picture I saw on the internet, the guy riding through town with a 16-foot 2x4 sticking through side of his car through the windows. Looked like an airplane going down the road.
That's the only way to get home. Yeah, no, I missed that Grand Caravan. It was great for hauling plywood. But kids too, actually. But
Yeah. We had old station wagon.
mm,
That was our minivan.
uh and Suburban would do the job too, but
Yeah.
you'd run out of gas money trying to drive that sucker
Yeah.
around.
Especially back in the 70s when this gas started going
Woo.
crazy.
Yeah. Um, hmm. I got rid of a piece of equipment recently on Craigslist. It was dirt cheap, and woman came up to get it, and she was driving a Suburban. I hadn't seen one in a while, you know. Yeah, she had plenty of room for it, you know. I had taken the equipment apart, figuring she wouldn't have room. I could have loaded the whole thing up in that Suburban, and she could have just driven off with it.
That and the what do they call them? The Grand Cherokees that were like a
Hmm.
SUV type Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
Them was still nice trucks. I mean, if you can get a hold of one of them that's not rusted out and been flooded and stuff
Oh,
like that.
the Wagoneer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the Wagoneer.
Like the Oswalt's, the family
The family
vacation people.
truckster.
Yeah.
The old way.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You know, back when families had 6, 7, 8 children,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
That's
the
why everybody
station
had
wagon was the
trucks.
only way you get anywhere.
Yeah,
Or
you see them go to church on Sunday morning with a truckload of youngins, and every one of them's theirs,
hmm,
filled up in the back.
yeah, or they being riding in the bed of the pickup truck. Can't do
Yeah.
that now.
Uh-uh.
Mm,
And they wouldn't just ride in the bed; they sat on the edges of the bed
yep.
Yeah, that's
or the
crazy.
tailgate. Put
You don't
tailgate down, sit on
see
tailgate.
that. You don't see that now. You
Mm.
know.
I've
Hmm.
done it many a times.
Yeah. You don't see that now. Yeah.
Right through the middle of town too.
Yep. Nobody. Everybody just waved. They were doing
Yeah,
it.
we got a lake that's about 2 hours from us, or I reckon about an hour from us. It's called White Lake, and every year at the end of the backer season, my uncle would load up his flatbed truck, put a tarp over it in case it rained, and uh, haul everybody down to White Lake, and they would go swimming. They'd get about, I reckon, probably 10 or 15 watermelons, put them on ice, and ride to White Lake and just sit out there all day and eat watermelon and swim.
Hmm.
And you wouldn't do that now.
Mhm.
Looked like a military transport truck with them canvas tops on it. That's what it looked
Hmm.
like. uh,
Yeah.
That's a good old time, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Can't do that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, I'm gonna get ready to settle down. See what we have in the morning.
Yeah, we don't want our crane operator half asleep when he goes to work.
Nah, hopefully I have a light day because it's been hot, man. It's just
Yeah, it's
hot. Yeah,
is it air conditioned in your crane?
yeah, it's air conditioned. Yeah,
Oh, in Florida, it'd have to be.
yeah, it's
He's
air.
see that's why them guys are mad at you all the time because they know you're in there nice and cool and they're out there just drenched in sweat.
Well, I look out for them. I bring them electrolyte, packages and stuff like that. I look
Yeah,
out. Yeah, I look out for the crew. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
If it get too hot, I tell them to go sit. I actually go tell them to sit in the crane.
yeah,
If you
Mhm.
cool
get
down.
yeah, if it get real, I've done it.
I got dehydrated the other day just sitting on my front porch. But
Yeah,
then again, I was drinking hot coffee too, so that didn't help.
yeah.
That was
Oh, no,
actually,
no, that's the worst. Yeah,
yeah, it was
yeah.
quite foolish of me to do that.
They say
Next
stay
thing
away.
I knew, I got all lightheaded, and so my wife had just cut up a watermelon and put it in the refrigerator, and I sat there and I ate just about that whole thing. Man, I'm gonna tell you what, it was good, and it cooled me down too.
You know how to test yourself for dehydration, right?
You look at your pee, your
What's
pee's
what's
yellow, you're dehydrated.
what's with all you Southerners and this bloody watermelon. Like we got
Pull your
watermelon
skin.
here, but you guys seem to love it.
Yeah, you pull your skin and let it go. If it drops down too slow, you dehydrate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
mama used to tell me if your pee was yellow, you need to drink water.
It's too late then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already too late. But if you out and if you pull your skin like that and then you drop it, and if it don't drop fast, you dehydrate it. Yeah. Because
I would usually get a headache or start feeling like I was getting a headache, and then
yeah, it's already too late. It's
yeah.
already too late. Yeah, because like I say, I had to stop. Sometimes I have to tell the crews like, hey, y'all, because you're supposed to stop if that weather is the way it has been. For every hour that you're out there, you need to hydrate for 20 minutes. You need to be out of the sun for 20 minutes.
Mm.
These
Every
guys,
hour.
yeah, yeah.
That's why he can do 2 trusses a minute, so that reduce the
Or,
time they're out.
yeah.
I tell them guys to get off the roof, man. I don't
Or
play.
just swap out. Yeah. Swap
No, I
out
tell them to get off the roof. We stop. Like we stop the job. I don't. It's
for
no.
20 minutes every hour.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because you think about it. If they don't stop, they're gonna be forced to stop.
Yeah, there'll be
And they
somebody
still
hurt.
gonna get charged. Yeah, like I don't care. If they
And then
pass
they're
out,
done for the day,
they're gonna still
if
get
not
charged
longer.
six hundred
Yeah.
dollars. They still gonna get charged $600.
Yeah.
So I tell them to stop. They stop. They need to stop. I say, get off the roof. Y'all need to cool down for like 20, 25 minutes and stuff. And I stop the time. But I'm like, it's not worth your health because you think you got 3 hours. You got 3 hours of crane time before you get charged into the fourth hour. What sense does it make for you to try to be rushing in a 3 hour? You're not going to get a discount. If you finish the house in an hour and a half or 45 minutes, it's still $600. It don't matter if it took you 3 hours or if it took you 15 minutes. It's still
Mm-hmm.
$600. So why would you try to rush thinking that you're going to get finished and then you pass out? Now you on my time.
Or you get scours from it.
So I have to tell them, hey, stop. Either go take a lunch or get off the roof, y'all hydrate, go in the shade or whatever, and then freshen up and get back up there and do it. It's just best to do it that way because I literally had to stop and pull one guy off the roof. The dude slumped over on the truss because he didn't have sense. He thinking that he got keep going, and he have sense enough to know that heat exhaustion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just caused problems. I mean, hey, you got to think for yourself at some point.
Yeah, because if
It-
he slumps on the roof, he's done for that.
Yeah, and
He's
that's
lucky he
exactly.
had that trust to hold on to.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but they be tied off too. They
Yeah,
put that
yeah.
tied off. But I mean, you think about it, that's a problem. Somebody have to go up there and get him down off the roof. So it becomes a problem. I mean, you have to work with common sense. I mean, it's not worth it. If it's just too hot, just shut it down. A lot of times, if I can't get to a house at the end of the day, I cancel it. I just tell the
Hmm.
guy, hey man, go home. I'm not coming today. We start fresh in the morning. I start 6:30. That's a long day. And
Hmm.
if they're waiting for a house at 3 or 4 o'clock, man, that's a long day to be out there in that heat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you got to work with sense. I mean, it's not. I don't care. I'm not working for nobody that it require me to be out in the heat without any protection. I'm just not doing it. We had a thing here. I don't know if that's all over where they talking about the post office. The postal they can't stop for water breaks and all that, and they just had that guy to pass. I think it was last year of heat
Hmm.
exhaustion. You know, I mean that's ridiculous. It's just not worth it. I would quit before I do that. Before I
Hmm.
endanger myself like that. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I was talking to my uncle the other day about it. We were talking about it being so hot. I said, I don't know how back in the day he's guys could get out there and crop tobacco all day long in this heat. And he was like, well, they didn't have no air conditioners. He said they
Well,
were used to it. It was like
well,
that all the time.
you can condition yourself to it. Like, like, so I build these marquee letters. Okay. If you start early in the morning and you be out there, you acclimate to that weather.
Yeah.
Now you can't sit in the house up to 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock in the morning and then decide, oh, I'm gonna go outside. That's not gonna work. You're gonna pass out. You
Hmm.
can't, you're gonna put, it's no difference.
It's a
It's no
shock to
different.
you.
It's a shock to your body. It's no
Uh-huh.
different than you jumping in the pool and then jumping in the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you just can't do it.
Yeah.
It's like we used to go after we got done working in the fields, we would go to the creek, and the creek was like freezing cold compared to what it was outside. And you jump in that creek, and it would take your breath. If you didn't know you were going to fall in it and you fell in, you'd probably drown because it was like, you
Yeah.
Hmm.
know, it was cold.
Yeah.
It felt good though.
Yeah, but that, I
Yep.
mean, that's what we deal with. So, so
The
normally
other
I
day,
try to start early in the morning, man.
the other day I went out flying.
Yeah.
It was like 8 or 9 in the morning, and it was nice. And I got in 2 or 3 flights. Well, towards the end of the flight, the sun had come out and everything, and it was starting to uh, sep the fluids out of me or whatever. And I went inside and I was like, ooh, yeah. So started drinking some water,
Uh-huh.
got back together, and it was later in the day. I said, well, maybe I'll go out for some more. You couldn't just walk out at
No.
1 o'clock and fly, because now it was oppressive heat.
Yeah.
So I, I I think I flew right before dark, because not
Yeah.
just
It's
there's certain times you can be out there and certain times you need
it's
to
a
be in.
it's abusive. I just finished 2 letters last week, and I've been working on it for a while because, like I said, it's been hot. I'm out there. I got to paint them, and I got to do the miter cuts and everything. And I was working fast. The machine, it didn't take no time for the machine to cut them out. I started doing the miter cut. Shoot, 1 o'clock start, and I was still out there. Man, it seemed like it became slow motion. I was like, I just left everything. I said, the heck with that. I just quit, left everything out there, and because it just become unbearable. Like once that body temperature start, it just become unbearable. I just left it, came in the
Yeah.
house, you know, and started back on the next morning.
Yep. People don't realize, they said, well, hey, I need this job or whatever. And I'm like, well, I can work between these hours and that hours, but the
Hmm.
rest of they're like, well, why not? Why can't you just work straight through?
Yeah,
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 you come
and it
you
get
come stand in my shop at that time of day, and then you tell me you want to
man,
be
it
in
be
here.
blazing, bro. I can't even. I
Yeah.
don't think about going in my shop at like this time. It's ridiculous. Like right now, it will probably. Well, I don't know. It just rained, but it was. It's. I couldn't work in there, especially if I had to turn on my vacuum pumps. Oh no, that wouldn't even work.
Oh gosh.
Mm-mm. No, it get hot in there with them vacuum pumps, or it get extremely hot in there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
So
know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, them jokers don't play. In the wintertime, that's fine, but in the summertime, oh heck no.
When
Yeah.
I
We
was
we exhausted ours out the side of the building, and
Yeah.
it was still hot.
when
It was still hot.
when I worked for the fellow who had the Onsrud machine, he had
Hmm.
a set out. He had a separate utility room that had his vacuum pumps and everything in there, and louvers that opened
Hmm.
up and closed and temperature, and it was still hot. You know, you just
Them vacuum pumps don't play, man. They do
no.
not. They do not play. I mean, for the work that they do, it takes. I think what it was. It was. I think it was 80 something degrees in my shop, like just before the heat wave started coming in, and I just had to cut out 2 letters. They took 7.5 minutes each. Okay, turned my vacuum pumps on. boot up, set up everything, ready to run the fire, turn on the vacuum pump. Before that second letter was cut out, it was 90 something degrees in there. Just that quick. I mean, I was like, I went from comfortable to like miserable. Like I was trying to hurry up. Like I jogged the machine and do 150% on speed rate just to finish to get out of there because it was yeah. So that window period of I tried not to take no jobs. People asked me like I had somebody asked me about doing cutting out some I don't know like a piece. I think it was a piece of metal or something like that with their name in it. I was like, nah, I'm not even interested in doing it because I don't want to go out there. Yeah. Once I come home from work out of that crane, that's it. It's a wrap. Yeah. If it can't be done in here, I'm not even considering doing it. That's why I got my little machine right there. So when it get too hot out there or cold, I can just do whatever I need in here.
Yep.
Yeah. All
Uh,
right, fellas. I will
well, yeah,
next week, hopefully.
yeah. It's that time anyway. It's
Yeah.
time to get going. And I appreciate you, Telly. Thanks for coming on. Always a pleasure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a good one. We'll see you. Now I talk to y'all. All
All
right.
right.
Yep.
Later.
Later on.
So, fellas, any last minute comments, Ned?
You sure now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we do this every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to join us, there'll be a link inside of the group. Click it. Come talk with us about your projects. Have a great day, Scott.
You too.
All right. Enjoy.
Have a good
All
one.
right, bye.
Take it easy, Ned.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye.